Welcome back to another episode of 40 Facts About the 40K Universe. I am your host, Gersh1, and you are watching One Mind Syndicate. Today we continue talking about the Adepts Custodes as we get into the Shield Captain. If you're new to the channel, subscribe. We post Warhammer 40K content every 12 hours, and of course if you have any suggestions, comment down below. But with that said, let's get into 40 facts on the Shield Captain. The rank of Shield Captain is a generalization used when referring to one of the senior officers within the Adepts Custodes, as the upper command of this elite paramilitary organization is far from transparent to outsiders. Within the ancient legal Custodes, there existed a range of ranks and seniorities of command, to which the more general applications of Shield Captain was applied, though within the Lego, such ranks range from prefect to lictor, proconsul to tribune, following the ancient patterns of Terra's lost history. Elevated both through the trust held among their peers for their judgment and skill, but first and foremost advanced by the direct approval and in some cases intervention of the Emperor himself. These were warriors not only of consummate and superhuman ability, but also rare insight, acumen, and knowledge. Afforded the rarest and finest of the Imperium's arms, each of these legendary fighters commanded the legal Custodes against all manner of threats against the Emperor, his works, and his domains. And whether their command concerned a dozen of their brethren detached to stand beside one of the Space Marine legions during the Great Crusade and the Horus Heresy in battle, or 1,000-strong shield company paving the way for the Emperor to walk upon some world of the dark frontier, they bore with them the might and power of their Lego manifested in a single indomitable warrior. In the 41st millennium, the rank of Shield Captain is still utilized by the Adepts Custodes. These individuals are amongst the greatest asset of the Imperium. They are superlative warriors who are able to take on an entire squad of heretical Astartes in close combat, strike the heads from Xeno beasts the size of tanks, and fell rank after rank of lesser enemies with pinpoint fire. Whether they hack their enemies apart with powerful swings of a Castellan axe, slice and stab with a sentinel blade, or impale their victims upon a crackling guardian spear, Shield Captains display absolute mastery of their chosen weapons. The swiftest in thought and action soar into battle on the saddle of a Dawn Eagle jet bike. Those of an especially aggressive temperament favor teleporting into war clad in Alarus Terminator armor, there to cut down the enemy's leaders and send their underlings fleeing in terror. Whatever their preference, Shield Captains are the masters of those disciplines required to become heroes of legend. More than just exceptional fighters, Shield Captains are highly intelligent and tactically gifted battlefield commanders, able to read the ebb and flow of the wider war at a glance and direct their forces accordingly. A great weight of responsibility is placed upon the shoulders of these warrior lords, for to squander the Emperor's personal guard is an unforgivable sin. They know neither fear nor self-doubt, and can appear arrogant and aloof to other warriors of the Imperium. This is a misconception, however, for Shield Captains are untroubled by such self-serving notions as egotism. They are absolute realists, fully aware of the stakes involved in the wars they wage. They act accordingly, every statement declarative, every action decisive, never suffering from roadblocks to their mission, be it a plot of the foe or ignorance or superstition of their allies. This is not to say that the Shield Captain lacks for charisma, rather they exude it. To common soldiery of the Imperium, these gilded figures seem to have stepped from the pages of religious scripture. Their presence fills faithful men and women with rapturous euphoria, banishing fear and doubt, replacing them with the absolute certainty that the Emperor watches over his servants and will preserve their souls should they fall in battle that day. Shield Captains are also master diplomats, well versed in the intricacies of Imperial high society, privy to secrets and traditions that allow them to charm, inspire, threaten, and manipulate as required to see their will done. The rank of Shield Captain is a purely martial one. It signifies that the custodian in question has the responsibility of leading a force of his comrades into battle. Beneath that umbrella are hundreds of more symbolic or traditional titles. Some are retained only as long as the duty or position is fulfilled. Titles such as Aquila Commander, Justice Supreme, or Emperor's Headsman are amongst these titles, and correspond to the guardianship of sections of the Imperial Palace or duties upon the field of battle. Conversely, a custodian who has stood amongst the companions will forever be known as an honored watchman, while one who was triumphant in a blood game will forever after bear the title of Shieldsmith. When the custodians march to war, it is not unusual to see multiple shield captains leading them in battle. Sometimes these warriors fight alongside each other. Groupings such as the Golden Brothers or the Heralds III have won remarkable renown through their impressive accomplishments. At other times, one amongst the shield captain's numbers will assume overall command of an especially important mission, his peers lending him his martial prowess and strategic counsel. The decision of who leads at such times is rarely difficult, for the shield captains are frank in discussing their respective merits, quick to recognize whether they or one of their fellows is the appropriate choice. So do shield captains epitomize their organization's pragmatic approach to achieving victory in the Emperor's name. The war-hardened custodians, entombed in the Great Contemptor Dreadnoughts, can also serve as shield captains. A notable venerable Contemptor Dreadnought who has led his brothers into battle is Hesturius Calaxor. Calaxor originally served in the ancient legal Custodes and came to prominence during the Horus Heresy, during the defense of the Imperial Palace at the Battle of Terra. He held the Enlightener Stare single-handedly against the turncoat soldiers of the 9th Terran Warden. It was he who rallied the Gospodor heavy infantry with his inspiring example of bravery, and led them to retake the Dome of the Architects from Dortha Kolos' Sons of Horus legionnaires, and finally drive Kolos' warriors to destruction, while felling the traitor Warhound Titan, Warpjackal, as well. These heroics saw Calaxor promoted to the rank of shield captain, after which he led 3 further highly successful counteroffensive before the siege ended. He went on to earn many more names in the centuries that followed. After many millennia of faithful service, he finally fell in battle on the dead world of Palathrix, his sheer force of will keeping him alive long enough to be interned within a dreadnought sarcophagus. He became Venerable Ancient Calaxor and assumed a new role within the 10,000, becoming a living war engine and a strategic advisor amidst the ranks of the Adeptus Custodes. And those were 40 facts on the shield captain. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, don't forget to share it with your friends on Facebook, Twitter, whatever social media you guys use. It really helps out the channel when you do so. And of course, you're venerating the Emperor of Mankind whenever you do share our videos. So please do so. The shield captain is awesome. I'm collecting. I have a unit of Adeptus Custodes. They have most of them have the spear. A couple of them have the shield. Just because the shield looks so badass, the captain, my actual shield captain, does have a shield, as well as whatever close combat weapon it comes with. I think it's the sword. But yeah, it looks pretty badass because the sword's like pointing down and he's like standing there pretty. It's an awesome pose. I love the fact that most people, when you talk about the lore of Warhammer 40k, will always make the complaint that Space Marines in the lore seem to be OP. They're way too powerful. They can kill hundreds of orcs and not even get a scratch. But you actually use them in the battlefield and they get eaten up by a squad of 30 boys, no problem. All 5 of them, all unit of them. Now, I really like to point out the fact that the Adeptus Custodes are basically Space Marines on crack in terms of how OP they are in the lore. Because, like this lore states, the shield captain himself can face off against an entire team of Chaos Space Marines. So these traitorous Astartes, they are not only superhuman, but they are blessed by the Chaos Gods. So the majority of the time, they are 10 times more powerful than what a regular Space Marine would be. So the fact that one shield captain can take on an entire unit, 5, 10 guys, it's crazy. It's crazy to think about, and it just really, the lore really does paint them as OP characters. When you actually get them onto the battlefield, I would say that they are really pricey. I picked up the Kill Team box set and can't wait to play it. I am going to play my Adeptus Custodes, and one thing I saw is that if I do play Adeptus Custodes, I'm going to be able to play like with 2 or 3 tops if I do the 100-point game. So not that many Adeptus Custodes that you could actually bring to the table, so I guess the lore is reflecting the game is reflecting the lore by saying, or by giving them such a high price. But I mean, we'll see how the game plays out. I can't wait to start creating battle reports for you guys. The Sound the Sound Alchemist is gonna come hopefully sometime this week, and we'll get a nice game going, record it, play around with it, and see how our battle reports play out. It's something that we used to do a lot on the channel with hero clicks, so now that we're going back into the Warhammer 40k universe with battle reports, very, very excited. And the small tabletop makes it even better. But again, guys, if you guys have any suggestions for other topics of Warhammer 40k that you guys would like us to cover, don't forget to comment down below. We also have a Patreon. It's a simple $1 a month. It helps us create more videos, and because of our patrons, we are actually able to post every 12 hours. So thank our patrons if you're enjoying all of this lore. If you can't support us on Patreon, we understand. Simply by liking, commenting, and sharing, it helps out the channel. So please do so. But with that said, guys, I will talk to you tomorrow. This was Gersh1 with One Mind Syndicate signing out.